Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name is Damien, also known as QB. How's everyone going today? And before I get into today's video, I'd like to just thank everyone watching. I hit 200 subscribers last night. I know it's not a heap, but it just means a lot considering that, it's just, I don't know, it's just hitting like another 100. I guess it's really cool. But anyways, let's get straight into it. Thank you guys. I always appreciate love and support. As always, if you're new around here, leave a like and subscribe, and I promise you won't be disappointed in my uploads. Today's video is about the Milwaukee Bucks and how they've had an absolute terrible start to the season. They're 1 win and 6 losses so far in the 2024-25 NBA season. Is it the players' fault? Is it the coaching fault? We're going to dive straight into it today. And as I said, overreaction to start the season, but it's what we're supposed to do so the team can look better, I guess, in the future, right? So yes, you heard that correctly. The Milwaukee Bucks are just 1 win and 6 losses so far for the regular season. And it's pretty weird saying this, that they were actually one of my picks to win the championships this year, alongside the Minnesota Timberwolves, Dallas Mavericks, and also the Boston Celtics, of course. I just did not expect this, considering the fact that Doc Rivers took over, and ever since he's taken over, their record is actually like 12 or 13 games below 500, which is just really, very shit to see. And considering you have 2 of your best players who are actually the 2 top 15 scorers in the league, you have Giannis averaging exactly 31 points a game, which is second in the whole entire NBA behind Anthony Davis. And you got Damian Lillard, who's averaging just over 26 points a game, which is actually 15th. So you're saying to me, you have 2 of the top 15 scorers in the NBA doing everything on offense, and you guys are almost dead last in the entire league. What is going on? Don't get me wrong, this team is probably still going to make playoffs, but the fact that no one's going to see him as a legitimate contender anymore is quite disappointing. All the real contenders out east, like the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks, have both had great starts, and the Milwaukee Bucks is just taking a whole different path. It's actually quite shocking to see, considering all these games that they played, they could have won, maybe besides the last one, the Cavaliers one, because they are currently the hottest team in the NBA right now. But 1 and 6 is disappointing when you have a top 10 player and Giannis and a top 15 to 20 player in the league in Damian Lillard. Depends about where you rate him. But you're telling me you got those 2 offensive juggernauts and all good surrounding pieces, and you're telling me nothing can just like fall into place, and the fact that you guys are 1 and 6. I'm going to keep saying that numerous times in this video because I still can't believe it myself. And yes, I'm sorry Buck fans, but I'm going to be one of those guys where maybe it's going to become time to eventually just spray cup everyone besides Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, because these surrounding pieces, they just aren't doing the jobs like they're supposed to do. I'll probably touch on that topic a bit more later, but right now I'm highly considering that it is a coaching problem, not a player problem. You see, ever since Doc Rivers took over, the Milwaukee Bucks have been a sub-500 team, meaning that they've never been above 500 or 500 since Doc Rivers has taken over. And obviously that came in dividends in playoffs when it just came down to late game choking strategies by Doc Rivers. He's been obviously known by that throughout his career. But as I said just before, there's no way you have the 2 offensive juggernauts and you can't even put together at least 3 or 4 wins by now. It's really quite concerning. I feel like it was just a no reason thing that the fact that you guys the fact that Milwaukee Bucks fired Adrian Griffin last season, when he literally almost had you guys 20 games over 500. It just baffles me. Like, I get it, he was like a first year coach and there was some concerning losses with the Detroit Pistons, but this has to be like nothing less than a regret. The Milwaukee Bucks front office definitely took a massive L here, considering that Adrian Griffin could have been better than what he was to start that season. Even though it was just a few concerning games, it was a loss to the Pistons, and also the next game they went to the overtime against the Pistons. But even then, like, that's way better and less concerning than what's going on right now in Milwaukee. And it actually just baffles my mind because the fact that he could have been even a better coach than he is now. He was probably better than Doc Rivers back then, because obviously Doc Rivers, I guess he wasn't really hunting for a job, but then obviously got the call when he was working with ESPN. So if you want to put 2 and 2 together, obviously he's going to take the coaching job. I guess the Milwaukee Bucks has always had in mind that's how it's going to pan out if Adrian Griffin did not have a successful start. In my eyes, I'm not sure with Milwaukee Bucks fans, in my eyes, that was definitely a best start to the season that you could ask for. Like, I'm a Lakers fan and seeing JJ Redick come in with no coaching experience whatsoever and be like 2-0. Yeah, we dropped some games here and there, but the fact that he's able to come in and get us dubbed straight away is such a refreshing feeling. And I don't know what it's like just to have a massive step back, and it's just, Bucks fans, I feel for you, but I think it is time for Doc Rivers to, head on his way. I'm not going to sit here and bash Doc Rivers this whole time as well. I want to bring out some other key components I found in the statistical side of things as well. You guys just can't baffle when I say that Giannis and Dame are offensive juggernauts. Just listen to these stats. Obviously, the Giannis 31 points a game per average, second in the whole entire league, is pretty self-explanatory. But you have Damian Lillard as well, who everyone around the league is saying isn't having a best start to the season, which I can agree. But he's still 15th in the entire league points per game. He's had one 40-point game, two 30-point games, and two 20-plus point games in only the 7 games the Milwaukee Bucks have played so far. And yet, once again, they're still only 1-6. This is bad. And one of the main facts is that starting center Brook Lopez is not having a good season whatsoever. He's only averaging just under 10 points a game, only 5 rebounds, only just 5 rebounds a game, and under 2 assists per game. And I know Giannis is having an MVP type season as well. He's averaging almost under 13 rebounds. But the fact that you're averaging the same amount of rebounds as the point guard is just, what the hell are you doing? Booker's had one good game this season where he had like 3 or 4 blocks against the Philadelphia 76ers, which was opening night for them. But other than that, it's just been a downhill spiral for most of the role players surrounding Dame and Giannis. And even Bobby Portis, he's having 11, 7, and 1 assist per game season so far. And I guess you would, think more or want more out of the 6 Man of the Year, potential player that he is. And I guess all the other guys are still trying to find their roles, such as Beauchamp, who's really not finding his way into rotation as much because Doc Rivers does not play young guys for some reason. It's just, I don't know why, he just doesn't. And you have guys like Gary Trent Jr., who looks okay, but are also really bad at it sometimes. Sam Victorian Prince. He's turning himself into a slasher for some reason when the spacing is obviously a bit crowded already when you could put him and Giannis on the floor together as well. Like Torian Prince was his best days when he was like a Minnesota T-Wolf. He was just like strictly just corner or top of the key or, on that 90-degree type angle free. Just sitting there and popping wide open threes, being that catch and shoot and being that 40% plus clip that he, used to be. And he hasn't shot like that in a couple of seasons now, so it's quite concerning. If maybe Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham and company can try to bring that back into his game, then I don't know, I'm not sure if Torian Prince is going to find his role. Gary Trent, I guess, is helping a lot on the defensive side because they suck defensively. In the whole entire league, they're 26 in points allowed, which means they're the 4th highest team in the NBA who give up the most points per game, so that the opposing team scores them pretty much. And they also give up the 6th highest 3-point percentage as well, which means that the perimeter defense is just not as good as well. And you're hyping with something different with Gary Trent coming in, but it really has taken just a massive step back. As we all know, it's a small sample size, but it's just not looking great at all. I guess Giannis had a big part of this, but they actually last in the association on free throw percentage as well at just under 70%. Which people might think 70% is good, but not for free throws. You want at least about maybe 83% and above. 70% is just not going to cut it. But that's pretty much going to wind it up for what I think so far about the Milwaukee Bucks. It is still very early to give my full thing and just say they're going to be absolute trash or whatever. But let me know what you guys think down below, especially Milwaukee Bucks fans. I need to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for the love and support, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.